Today we're rating some custom Magic the Gathering cards from some very creative people. We're going to start off with the Exile with Nothing. It's an instant. Exile all cards in exile. Now, I could be mistaken, but this is probably a legal card. Like, probably legal, and it just probably does nothing. It'll take cards from exile and put them into exile. You know what? It might do something else. No, maybe it won't. I'm just trying to think, like, there are some cards you can play from exile, and then it'll go to a zone where you can't play them anymore. So maybe it does do something, I think? I don't know. I need a judge. Can I take cards from exile that I'm allowed to play until end of turn, then put them into, I don't know, exile again? Like, do they move out of the zone, then go back into the zone, and then you can't play them anymore? I'm trying to think of some really niche situation where exile with nothing will ever do something. And that's the only one I can think of. You, like, basically blinked a card in exile, and poof, it's, you no longer can cast it from exile anymore. So someone said, Stefan is like, it's Zybers. You think that's Zybers? When do you want to exile old cards in exile? They go back to the same zone. I've done something like that before. I like took a card from exile. I took a card that went out of exile, put it back into exile, and then it came back out of exile again. I was like, why? How the hell that happened? Because it was like a type of card that came out of exile. Toads is like, double exile. Thought we ruled they stay in exile. No, that doesn't work like that. You know, have you ever heard of Mistcaller Griffin? It can come back from exile. Okay, I think it's a legal card. I would never play this off. It might be legal. It might be doable, but outside of that, it's useless. All right, we got Alex we got Alex Gibson. Thank you very much for your super chat. Another is a card. Artificer Ascension. All right, so if you donate money to me and post on my Discord, I'll look up your card. You got to give me the name of the card. Artificer Ascension. I can look up the card, and then we rate it in front of everybody. Alright, it is a red-blue, 1 generic enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if you cast 2 or more artifact spells with different names this turn, you may put a quest counter on Artificer Ascension. Ooh, I haven't heard quest counters since Zendikar, the OG Zendikar. Now, at the beginning of your upkeep, if Artificer Ascension has 3 or more quest counters on it, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token where it gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. We are a bit of an Urza person, aren't we? Making these constructs. We're going to assemble the construct army. And it's actually insanely fair because you have to cast 2 or more artifact spells per turn to put a counter on this thing. Requires what, 3? So the beginning of your upkeep. So we can't do it on the first turn. I get 2. Second turn after the first turn we get 1 counter. The second turn we get the second counter. Third turn we still don't get this active. It's actually way too fair in my opinion. You could actually make it more aggressive. I don't know how to make it more aggressive. I don't know, make it a 1 blue, make it 1 blue or something. Some of that effect. I don't know. Yeah, this is like reverse pushed. The inverted push. But yeah, design is great. Great idea. But I think we could push it a little bit hard. I guess, you know what? It's a little hard to balance cards like these. It's either going to be insane or it's going to be crap. You know, it's far hard to find that balancing act with artifacts. Always has been, even for R&D. R&D has gotten so many artifacts banned over the years, it's just crazy. It seems pretty busted if it has 3 counters. You create a construct no matter what every time. Well, yeah, but what is that, though? Have you ever heard of Coma? You know, I think hold on, let's see. Every turn or your turn. At the beginning of your upkeep. Yeah, it's just your upkeep. It's just 1 turn. It's not even everybody's upkeep. If it said every maybe that's how you balance it out. That's actually could be the change to push this over the top so that something you worked for was worthwhile. Every upkeep you get a construct. So in Commander it's actually worth something. Freebie section. We go back to the freebie section. This is the Verdant Paladin. It's a 4-mana 3/3 elf knight. And it's got trample. Now, whenever Verdant Paladin attacks, add green. Spend this mana only to cast spells that target this permanent. Attacks, you can add your... Oh, so this is like some sort of weird support for giant growth in some sort of weird way. The Oaken Order was formed to protect the last forest on Phyrexia. Super pass. I think it's underwhelming, to be honest. I really hate these types of, like, target my creature to make it bigger. It's like you can't even put auras on it. Can it? This man can only be yeah, it's like when it attacks, so it has to be instant speed buff, which I like. How many cards would that be? Yeah, where is Majra? You know, Majra, Bacon Catbug, so many people wanted this show every single week. We got it every week. Now they know they don't even show up. I'll tell you who does show up. We got Dimitri. Dimitri shows up every single week, no matter what. Only a dono today. Also read the titles since I have workshop cards up. Titled something like Nikachu skip if dono hit. Is that a real card? Huh? Also read the titles. What does that mean? Hold on. Nikachu skip if dono hit. Huh? Skip this card if this is landed in a donation. That doesn't make any sense though to me. Okay. How is this? What, are you waiting? Also read the title since I have a word. Oh, I see. So, oh, you want to donate the card. Okay, we're going to donate the card. And then if I hit the card, you just want to skip it. Okay, so we're going to get... Ooh, got one from Majra. Majra, usually paying to be on this show, now gets one for free. We got the Ices of the Kadistu. It is a black, 3 generic, 5/3 demon. Now it's got flying, trample, ward, pay 3 life. I hate paying life for ward. Actually, I don't mind it. You know what? I take that back. I hate paying mana for ward. Mana is terrible. Non-land permanents you control have ward pay 3. All right, well, some sacrifices, my life total being one of them, must be had. Whenever Izeth deals combat damage to a player, that player faces a villainous choice. They discard 2 cards at random, then mill 3 cards for each non-land card didn't discard this way. Or they sacrifice a non-land permanent with the highest mana value among perms they control. This is actually pretty fair. It's not even part of a series, but it's super fair. Alright, back to the freebie section. Defensive driving. I didn't know there was... Is that like when you, like, drive slowly or at the speed limit? Is that what we call defensive driving? And then anyone going over the speed limit and cutting people off, that's aggressive driving. Alright, white 1 generic enchantment. Vehicles you control get +0/+1 and have vigilance. Creatures you control with toughness greater than their power crew vehicles using their toughness instead of their power. So what you're saying is, I can drive this vehicle with my butt. Basically, I'm controlling the car with my seat. I shimmy left, I move left. I shimmy right, I move right. Super fair. And I think for the people who like to make a theme out of vehicles, equipment, stuff like that, I guess this is going to be for the vehicle people. You want a vehicle synergy card? There you go. Defensive driving. This is a butt pumper's wildest dream. Yeah, the butt pumpers. Big butts are us. If you like big butts and you do not lie, you're going to want the defensive driving. All right, next up we've got okay, we'll save this to the end. You want donos? Okay, we're gonna wait the donos to the end. But there, you know what? Winter Fox has at least 1 card. The Mammoth Cheese Sack. The Mammoth Cheese Sack? Is that what the hell I'm reading here? Mammoth Cheese Sack. Sounds disgusting. But Mammoth Cheese Sack it is. It is a Golgari artifact. You gain 20 life. That is a lot of life to gain around here. Then go throw up over the other player. I don't know if that's a legal action. I've never eaten that much cheese, though. Never eaten that much cheese. Majra, did you see? You got a free card. We saw the Izeth of the Kadistu. Alright, so we got the Mammoth Cheese Stack. Yeah, I have nothing else to say, but this is a meme card. Does anyone throw up over eating too much cheese? I've never eaten... That's never happened to me before. Okay, next up. Freebie section. The Flowering Wasteland. It's a level up land? Never seen that before. You can use it maybe to pay for its own leveling up costs. It is whenever you tap Flowering Wasteland for mana, put a level... Oh! I like that. The biggest pain, absolute pain in the butt for level up cards is you usually have to sink mana into it, and then if they blow it up or kill it, like, well, I like feel like I completely wasted all my mana and my time. But here, you just use the card and it levels up. You know, you get experience. You don't use it, you lose it. But if you use it, you upgrade. Okay, it's a wasteland, basically. It taps for a colorless mana. Level 2 to 4. Tap, add 1 mana of any color in your mana pool. All right, so we basically turned into a city of brass. But at level 5+, tap, add 3 mana to your mana pool. Oh my goodness. This would be tier 0 in, like, I think this would see play in every single deck. It's funny, though, that at level 5, some games don't go beyond level 5. So this actually is balanced in some capacity. Oh yeah, this is Arcanus Ultra's card. Oh, we see Arcanus. Can anyone see Arcanus Ultra over there? Arcanus Ultra designed this thing. I like it. I like this. I wonder if this would break one-on-one Magic, because getting the turn 5, not impossible. But it's sort of like reminds me of the Suspend Lotus. Like, it doesn't become broken until you get to like turn 4 to 5, but at that point it's fair. Although this is on a land. If you want to make it fair, you could always just add the clause. Like, if it is actually broken, you just add the clause. You have to sacrifice the land at level 5. So it's always going up. It goes from waste to like a multicolor land, and then eventually it becomes Lotus. But then you have to sacrifice it to get that value. And you can't repeat that value every turn. Flowering Wasteland is a Modern Horizons card. Is that serious? Or are you just talking about, like, that looks like a Modern Horizons card? That will be Modern Horizons 4 material. Coming to a set near you. Will Anderson coming out with a Burst of Passion. Burst of Passion is a wonderful 2-mana instant. If you have 3 or more cards in your hand, reveal a card at random from your hand. If you reveal an enchantment, instant, or sorcery card this way, you may cast that spell. And you may pay red rather than paying its mana cost. Otherwise, draw a card. So basically, if you... How do you get drawn a card off this? So, like, what if I'm empty-handed? We're basically just cycling this and then adding double red. So basically, if you have just 1 card left in your hand, if you have 3 or more cards in hand, reveal... Oh, you have to have 3 or more cards. So you're forcing us to gamble here. If you reveal... What if I have less? Is this card just stupid? Useless? I guess it's just cycle. So, you got 3 or more cards. Okay, we're gonna spin the wheel on this one. Well, it's a cute card. If you reveal a land, you draw a card. I think if you don't even have 3 cards in your hand, you draw a card. It says, it's funny, it doesn't say, like, you must have 3 cards in your hand to cast the spell. It's like, if you have. Come on, blasphemous act. That's also possible. Yeah. All right. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. There's no way you're gonna definitely... I mean, one-on-one Magic. Maybe you can have 3 copies of the same card in your hand, but that's very unlikely. Looks like you're just gonna take a gamble. And you know what? Maybe you don't know what to play for that turn, so you'd like the Burst of Passion to tell you what to play this turn. Oh, don't tell that to Wizards of the Coast. Oh yeah, I'm gonna roll dice to decide what I'm playing for the turn. They might not like that. And then if you don't get the card that you want, you're gonna resign. For anyone that's in the know about all that nonsense. All right, next in the freebie section, we got when to go. When do I have to go? Says this guy. It's a 4-mana 3/2 human horror. Now, as long as you control 2 or more creatures of the same creature type, you may sacrifice a creature that shares a creature type with another creature you control. If you do, create a food token. I'm gonna level with all of you. I have no idea what I just read here. As long as you control 2 or more creatures of the same creature type, like let's say they're spirits, you may sacrifice a creature that shares a creature type with another creature you control. If you do, create a food token. So the idea is, like, if they both share a creature type, we can sack one, and then the other one's gonna eat the other one because it's a food. Those who free themselves of mad hunger are trapped by something worse. Yeah, that's what I'm interpreting here. Basically, Humans eating humans around here. Wendigo lore is tied to cannibalism. Okay, that makes some sense. Okay, so now I understand. That's what they just said. They should have just said cannibalism. Anyway, I don't know the lore, so I depend on the coffee crew for saving me here. That's totally fine. That's interesting. So you may, as long as you control, so basically at any time I can sacrifice a creature that's the same creature type to make food. But the other creature's not eating it. I am. I eat the food. My creatures, they need nothing. They just need the end of turn, and then they just regenerate magically. Because it's magic, of course. Come on, if this game was serious, we'd need bathroom breaks and everything. Okay. Next up, Wendigos are brought about by cannibalism, so a creature eats its kin. Yes, that is the lore. Next up, Corbinek, the Land of Tomorrow version 2. Hall of Dead. There's also a ruling that you can cast lands via suspend. Probably. Okay, hold on. The Land Tomorrow. Can I find that? Okay, this is Land Tomorrow version 2. And then we're also going to look up Hall of the Dead. Land of the Tomorrow! Land. This card can only be played from exile. Pay 1, suspend 2. Why would you want to do that? I don't know. So we just got, it's like we just got this from suspend. We want to put it back into suspend? Or are you saying it's in suspend we can just play it immediately? Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Tap, you may play 1 additional land from your hand this turn. That's interesting. That's actually very interesting. Okay, so we have a land that we can tap to put lands onto the battlefield. Has that never been done before? Do we just not have a card that's like that? Because it's like a mana dork, almost. Like you just tap and put lands into play. It's very funny. It sounds broken. Because they've never done this before. Nikachu, I got a call from Quebec, you prank. I'm not from Quebec. Alright, you know, you want to know all my French? I can count to 10. That's all the French I know in the world. So it's not me, it's somebody else. Believe it or not, there's 36 million people in Canada. Or something like that. I will reluctantly give it a pass. I could be wrong. It could be a danger. Okay, and your next card is Hall of the Dead. I like analyzing lands. My favorite card type are the lands. Your creatures, enchant, no, it's all in the lands, people. We got a legendary Hall of the Dead. Now we tap to add a black to our mana pool. We also tap to add double black to our mana pool. Activate only if you have 7 cards in your graveyard with different names. Easy in Commander, and have 15 or less life. A little bit harder to pull off. Tap to add triple black to your mana pool. Activate only if you have 20 or more cards in your graveyard and you have 10 or less life. I'm just thinking, can Mill make really good use of this? Now, okay, to be honest, this whole double black thing, super easy to pull off in, I think it should tap for nothing. Maybe not nothing, like either for nothing or for a colorless. And you gotta make people work hard for this, because this is free. This is so damn free. This has to be broken. You know what the bar is to have 17 cards in your graveyard and 15 or less life in a one-on-one game? Nothing. Like, that happens every single game. So the fact that you're just giving them a soul land for easy. It's a free soul land. So I think the way you balance this is it either taps for colorless or it taps for nothing at all, and everything else would be fine. The OG tap symbol, yes, classic. Is it the OG? No, I think the OG was just, it had the word tap in colons. Tap, colon. The closer I get to death, the more powerful I become. So anyway, I think it's a little too powerful. I think it's powerful even before death. I mean, it's basically a super upgraded swamp. There's nothing wrong with that swamp. The Creator. No relation to the Dragon. Okay, it is a 2-mana 1/1 wizard god with eminence. As long as the Creator is in the command zone or on the battlefield, spells you cast cost 1 more? That is interesting. That's like anti-busted. So when it enters the battlefield, as long as the Creator is in the command zone or on the battlefield, spells you cast cost. What the hell? This is the opposite of what we want. Okay, so the Creator enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each mana spent to cast it. So it will cost 3. Spells you cast that cost Wooburg less to... Sorry, spells you cast cost... Okay, so like Niv Mizzet will cost Wooburg less to cast. This effect reduces only the amount of colored mana you pay. I don't understand this card. So it's like, it's a cost reducer for Wooburg, but it's a cost increaser for everything else. So like Niv Mizzet costs 1 mana, 1 colorless. Eminence with a downside, but it's incredibly strong in play. I get it. I get the idea. It is interesting, but it's just bending my brain. So it costs Wooburg less, but it costs 1 extra more. And interestingly, the more the Creator dies, the bigger it's going to be when it comes back out, because you spend more money on the commander tax. All right, I guess we give it a pass. You think it's busted as hell? Spells you cost... Oh yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it was like 3 mana Soul Ring. You know what? Get it out of here. That's crazy. We just playing Sliver Queens and Niv Mizzets for nothing, or basically 1 mana. Probably needs to be a little bit more balanced somehow. A little bit more balanced. Yeah. Okay, who do we have? Who do we have at green? We have Gabrielle. Index of Taboos. Not the best wording. Hold on, I looked it up wrong. But clear enough, I hope. A silly little card against people using yet another copy of that one card you hate. Depends which. I hate a lot of cards. All right, we've got the 3 mana artifact. When Index of Taboo enters the battlefield, exile all graveyards. Neither player can cast spells with the same name as the card in exile. Ah, are you talking about Grief? Yeah, I hate Grief too. So if we can exile Grief, we don't see Grief anymore. Neither player can. So it's like a weird Meddling Mage. It's almost like a super surgery. It's like Meddling Mage and Surgical Extraction all together, which in Commander... Oh no, wait a minute. This can affect Commander players. I was like, maybe this like can affect Commander players. You only play with 1 copy of each card. But neither player can cast spells with the same name as a card in exile. So if I blow up one person's Soul Ring, then exile it, no Soul Rings for the rest of the game. Forbidden. I like this. This is a really cool card. Spells too destructive to be cast. Creatures too powerful to summon. Liquors too disgusting to be drank or drunk. Brief summary of the index. Is this too good for Modern? Probably not, to be honest. I don't think so. I mean, it might. It might. Be careful what goes to the graveyard. Maybe you should exile it before the Index of Taboos exile it. A little strong around here. How does Eminence work if it's not your general? It doesn't. I think that's the answer to that. I think that's the answer to that one. Okay, next up, we got Darth Taurus. The post is the Glyph of Balance. Only 1 card for $10. Thank you so much, Darth. Usually some people send a series of cards for $10. Glyph of Balance. It is a blue, white, green 2 generic enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose 1. If you have the lowest life total among all players, you gain 7 life. I would figure you can gain a little bit more life than that. Oh, but you get it every upkeep. This is an enchantment. Okay, neat. Okay, if you control the fewest lands among all players, put up to 2 lands from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Oh, it has to be from your hand, though. If you have the fewest cards in your hand, you get to draw 2 cards. So actually, what if you're tied? Well, I guess it specifically says you must have the fewest. So you have to get this out really quick. And then dump your hand. Dump your hand and then get that value. Cool card. I think a lot of the band players would like to play with this card. They love cards. This only affects you, though. Okay, we got Engaging Placeholder says that doesn't seem to actually require that it exiles. It's anything in exile. That's correct. Hold on, where's the... Oh, was that one of these cards? Oh, no, it was one of these cards. Hold on, where the hell? What was the last thing that we just looked at? Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember the name of the post. You could be right, though. Oh, I didn't think it ties. Well, I mean, so it still works, even without the ties. It would just basically mean you have to have the least number of cards in your hand to get the benefit. If you're tied, well, you don't have the fewest cards in hand. You don't have the least amount of life. So you could tweak it a little bit to make it a little bit more playable in those situations. Nice card, though. The Heirloom Twins. This is a white-red, 1 generic, star 4 Minotaur Cleric. Non-creature permanents you control have lifelink. The hell does that mean? Non-creature permanents. So basically things that I have to animate into a creature. And then the Heirloom Twins power is equal to the amount of life you gain this turn. So I Lightning Helix you. I gain a little bit of life, and this thing gets stronger. Fury tempered with the righteousness, innocence spoiled with rage. Cool card. Definitely not illegal. Definitely not broken around here. Islarf with the Goblin Grave Trapper. Goblin Grave Trapper. Goblin Grave. Damn it, you didn't give a name. I definitely just posted. I wrote this properly, or did you have like brackets? Did you maybe put brackets on this thing? No, still. Did you just post it? Goblin Grave Trapper. Goblin Grave Trapper. I'm not seeing it here, Islarf. You screwed up. You just fixed it? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna look it up again. I'm supposed to have these. You're supposed to have this already in the first one. I still don't see it. Do I have to leave and go back? Okay, sorry. Goblin Grave. I can't find this thing. Try it again. I did try to repost the damn thing. Just repost it. Repost it. I'll go back. I'll go back. Just repost it. I'm gonna move on to Corbinik for now. Selective spellcasting. I can't find this either. What's wrong with you people? Or did you post it on, I'm assuming you posted on Discord. All of a sudden we've hit, okay, here, okay, we're going back to the Goblin Grave Trapper. Okay, Goblin Grave Trapper, it's a black, see the thing is you have to write in text the name of the thing with the post so I can find it on Discord. Otherwise, you know, Discord can't read the damn card itself. Okay, we got a black 1 generic 1/2 Goblin Skeleton. When Goblin Grave Trapper and 1 or more cards are exiled from your graveyard, target player loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of cards exiled this way. Goblin Grave Trapper, 1 or more cards are exiled from your graveyard. That is so weird. X life. So, we exile our own cards. That's a very unique effect. And then we're gonna make someone lose X life and we gain life, where X is the number of cards. Okay, so if we exile 10 cards at once, boom, we hit our opponent for some damage. We also gain a little bit of life out of all that. I like that. That's a unique effect. Corbinik says it's right there. What is right there? Okay, your card was selective spellcasting. I don't see that anywhere. Selective. Oh, here it is. Selective. How did we screw this up? Whatever. It seems like when you re-edit it, it can't be found anyway. Okay, we got white, green, black, blue enchantment. Players can only cast 1 type of spell during each phase of this turn. Oh, so like instant? Does it... Now I'm just trying to think. Okay, players can only cast 1 type of spell during each phase. Okay, so I guess I can play an instant every single phase of a turn, but I have to do it. Okay, upkeep. I'm gonna play Lightning Bolt. Main phase. I'm gonna play Ancestral Recall. I don't know what format we're playing, by the way. And then combat. I'm gonna play Giant Growth. We're playing Alpha. Alpha Sealed. That's what we're playing here today. Selective spellcasting. All right, this is going to be one of those cards where I don't even think it's going to change much. I don't think it changes anything. If it changes something at all. So I can play an artifact in main, then instant, then... Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, not all artifacts have flash. In fact, most of them don't. Nikachu, don't forget to add thyme, or you'll miss the timing. Add thyme? Add thyme, green, instant, create a tap food token, then introduce today's sponsor. All right, that's a good idea, because it is that time to look at FusionGamingOnline.com, today's sponsor, as usual. My favorite sponsor. That's why we have it every single day. It supports the show and my place to get my Magic the Gathering cards. You know, and those Magic the Gathering cards have power, because those Magic the Gathering cards from Fusion Gaming Online helped me win the NRG series. I got first place. So you want to know where to get first place worthy cards? You get them at FusionGamingOnline.com. I cannot guarantee that your cards will get you first place in your tournament, just as a disclaimer. But what I can guarantee you is that you can get 5% off whenever you purchase something from Fusion Gaming Online at checkout, whether it be any of their deals, Bloomburrow pre-orders, Modern Horizons 3, Assassin's Creed, and more. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Your ability to play any format, anytime that you want. MTG Arena, you gotta like buy these wild cards. See, on Magic Online, you can rent the cards from Mana Traders, so you have access to the entire library of Magic the Gathering cards every single time you go play. You could support the channel by using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_OKM. And now back to Magic the Gathering card. Back to custom Magic the Gathering cards. For legal reasons, that was a joke. No one sue me. Okay, I think this is the last freebie here. Quality control, the white sorcery. Destroy all tokens. Wow, doesn't that already exist? It's got the Modern Horizons logo on it and everything. I like the picture. For some reason, it feels Magic-esque. I asked for art, not cheap slop. I don't know what the flavor is to that. Is that a PewDiePie reference? I think so, yes. For legal reasons, that's a joke. Anti-treasure. Oh, you know, I wasn't even thinking about that, Bell. Good call. Yeah, okay, so I was just thinking creatures. Hits, treasures, food, clues. So you're just gonna slam the hammer on those token decks, no matter what type of token. Those Academy manufacturer decks, they're not gonna like that at all. Yeah, this Academy manufacturer was manufacturing a bunch of garbage. We need the quality to get back under control, so we're gonna blow everything up. Some people get all up into this custom stuff, and I just post nonsense. That's right. Post as much nonsense as you want. Give it populate for lols. I don't get it. Oh, you mean the, what's it called? The Academy manufacturer? That is a disgusting card to populate. Yeah, buy Power Stone. No, I don't even know how to use a Power Stone. I'm just terrible at it. All right, easy pass. Okay, now it is time for Majra. Majra's time to shine. Nikachu finally got near the end of the time slot deck. Part 10 of the Draken. Is that your longest series ever? Part 10 is high. That goes long. We went deep on this series. Okay, we've got Ration is Nap. It is a green instant. Prevent all combat damage that be dealt this turn. Time travel. Time travel, that's, you know, you remove a suspend card, right? It's like we're going into time. The revenge and pettiness? I don't think this is how you spell revenge. Is that even a word? Revenge. The action of hurting or harming someone in return for an injury or wrong. I thought it was okay, maybe I just don't know how to spell. Oh, this is an alternate spelling for revenge. Is it revenge or revenge? Revenge is the act. Yeah, apparently revenge actually has 2 spellings. That's okay. I learned something today. The revenge joke again. Is that a joke? It's a French accented revenge. Revenge. I get revenge against you, monsieur. Okay. Now what does it even do? It's a trap for 5 mana. Revenge and Pettiness cost 3 less to cast if a dragon or planeswalker died this turn. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Put 2 loyalty counters on target creature or planeswalker. This is so hard to cast. It's like 5 mana or my planeswalker or dragons have to die to make it happen. So easily pass. Easily print it. The Shadows Blossoming Kekai is a green 3 generic legendary enchantment. When Shadows Blossoming Kekai enters or leaves the... Whoops, where did we go? I want my Kekai back. Okay, when the Blossoming Kekai enters or leaves the battlefield, put target permanent from your graveyard to your hand. Unless an opponent choose to let you draw a card and gain 2 life. Probably they should let you draw the card. It's got Super Parade. Exile this permanent. Prevent the next damage from any source of your choice. What is this, a fog deck? We got like a bunch of fog cards going on here. Good afternoon, MTG Gaming Bob. The new cards entering Modern are crazy and wild. And I guess since I won a tournament, I shouldn't be too unhappy about it. Okay, we got the Shadows Midnight Kekai for 2 mana. We're going into Aura territory now. When Shadows Midnight Kekai enters or leaves battlefield, target opponent sacks a creature. Really? Or planeswalker, unless they choose to let you draw a card and scry 1. Okay. Giant creature gets +1/+1 in lifelink. I actually sort of like that. And you actually still get blown out, though, if they kill the creature in response. Because it will never enter the battlefield if you kill in response. So it's super fair. And the Shadows Radiant Kekai is a red 2 generic aura, flash, enchant creature. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage to target permanent unless its owner chooses to let you draw a card and then create a treasure token. Enchant creature gets +2/+2 and has Wither. Very nice series. Excellent series, Majra. Very much. Thank you very much. Okay, next up. Okay, Winter Fox says, oh dear, we found something. Got a very old card I made before my snow-colored streak. Void Calculation Arc Bolt. Void Calculation. I'm surprised you would delete anything. Fox. Okay, Void Calculation Arc Bolt. What the hell is this? Okay, it's 3 mana and 2 Phyrexian. It's a legendary instant. The Void Calculation Arc Bolt deals X damage to all creatures, where X is equal to the total number of cards in each player's hand, then deal 1 damage to target player for each creature that died to this effect. That's interesting! That is like a really, So basically, the more cards in your hand, the worse this gets. With all your gain, now you're going to experience pain. It's too heavy to carry that hand. Well, you should just drop it on your creatures. And then after that, for each creature that dies... then deal 1 damage to each player for each creature oh, they have to die. And they say math wasn't used in everything. The Goblin Researcher. I'm surprised the goblins even use math. That's a cool card. It's a very good card. Okay, next up, we've got... okay, we got Steve Cooper, Codemaster Lico. Codemaster. On the Discord. Is that your card? Codemaster Lico. And then donation to Discord/Phoebe section. All right, so we got one. We're gonna have 1 donation to the freebie section, 1 to Discord. We got the Lico. This is a black-blue Dimir 2 generic for a 2/3 Aetherborn Assassin Wizard with hexproof. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from exile or from your graveyard, that instant or sorcery gains Cypher. We're making Cypher. We're trying to make Cypher good around here, are we? You may encode a spell onto a creature. Whenever you encode a spell onto a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on the Codemaster Lico, and then there's just a bunch of gibberish at the bottom here. Gibberish! Does this mean anything? I guess if we try to decipher the code, it would mean something. Engaging placeholder. I'm pretty sure that Arc Bolt just one-shots most token decks. Absolute. Well, they need at least one card in hand, right? If they have 0 cards in hand, then it deals 0 damage. Okay, cool card. There's no way I'm ever going to say a Cypher card is broken. If you can make a broken Cypher card, I'd love to see it. Someone should try to break Cypher. Just as, like, I don't even know what it would look like. Except, like, unless it was just, like, a really busted card, but the Cypher part was, like, meaningless. Okay, let's look up a random card here. I close my eyes, and we land on Tam. Tam's Dying Breed. It's a black instant. Dying Breed costs 1 more to cast for each creature type its target has, and it destroys target creature. Costs 1 more for each creature type its target. Okay, so if it has 1 creature type, it dies for basically 1 mana. Oh no, it's a Doomblade at the very least. We'll never spend 1 mana on this thing. So if it's 1 creature type, it costs 2 mana. If it's 2 creature types, it costs 3 mana. Yeah, that's totally fair. I think it'd be cool if we could still cast this for 1 mana versus, like, dragons or for whatever. Or maybe it's fair. Maybe it's fine by it. I mean, it's obviously fair. I just like to work it to a point where it's, like, it's broken as 1 mana. Changelings are infinite. You'll not be targeting my changelings with the Dying Breed because there's nothing dying about it. Changelings keep the entire endangered species list alive. And off the endangered species list. Okay, now the freebie section. Pride. We got the Wooburg 4/4 Elemental Incarnation. Now, when Pride enters, you may put a Soulbound counter on 2 target creatures and or planeswalkers. If they aren't already paired, they become paired until one of them leaves the battlefield. They gain. This permanent has all activated abilities of its pair. Holy moly! Evoke. Exile a multicolored card from your hand. So it's stronger together, huh? Bonding. It's all about bonding. Planeswalkers and creatures. I don't understand this, though. They don't go together. They gain. This permanent has all activated abilities of the pair. So basically, my Planeswalker can, tap for mana? And then my Birds of Paradise can, like, play the loyalty abilities? I suppose that works. It works. It'll mess up the rules, but it's okay. It's okay. I've seen many creatures with planeswalker abilities on them. It's so messed up. Thanks to Agatha, Soul Cauldron, and Grist. Very, very, very silly interaction. Happy Pride Month, Deuce Ex Machina. Man, that's weird. I know. How about eat edibles and then make your creatures into planeswalkers? It's a hell of an experience. I can't speak from experience, though. Okay, next up, what's the next super chat in the cycle? We got Brawly Shadow with Romina, Saint of the Bud. Romina. The only 1 card for me today. Been playing too much Elden Ring. I've been told I should play Elden Ring. I like really difficult games. That's what this is from, by the way. I've heard Elden Ring is a really hard game, and I like hard games. I like games that make you squeal under pressure. Okay, Romania, Saint of the Bud is a green, black, white, 1 generic, 3/4 insect cleric, Wither. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, if its toughness was less than 1, you may pay 1. If you do, return it to the battlefield under your control with a Wither counter on it. So you're saying this boss doesn't die so easily? Madra says, Cypher can't be broken. Challenge accepted. Oh, wait, hold on. We'll look at it eventually. Okay, deals damage to creature in the form of whenever a creature an opponent controls dies. If its toughness was less than 1, you may pay 2. If you do, return it to the battlefield. Oh, yeah. Oh, so we're stealing their creatures. So they're taking our offenses and using as their defenses. All right, that's cool. That's very cool, actually. If you like hard games, try Lobotomy Corporation. It's masochistic. I like those games. You're gonna throw your control. I like those games like Silver Surfer, and I Want to Be the Guy. If anyone knows those games, I'm open to looking at some other games though. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Madra says, Cypher can't be broken, challenge accepted. You're telling me you've done it before. Can't be broken. Oh, maybe, hold on. Did you actually print it? Cypher can't be broken. Maybe I should just look up site. Did you actually submit a card, or you're just, you know, you're just posturing for the future? Okay, there's no card here. I thought there was a card. No, it's not a card. Okay, so it's something you're gonna. You have not made it yet. Yet you submit the super chat like you made it. Okay, we'll look at another with that super chat. We'll just look at something random. From Pedgeman. Pedgeman loves the donations. The Summon Familiars. It's a black 1 generic vampire. Kindred sorcery. Create X11 black vampire bat creature tokens with flying and lifelink, where X is 2 plus the number of blood you control. Now, until at the end of turn, whenever would... I think we're missing a few words in this one, Pedgeman. Until the end of the turn, whenever you would gain life from a lifelink effect on a vampire, dealing damage to a player, instead create that many blood tokens. It's got retrace. Yeah, no, you, Pedgeman. That's right, no, you. Okay, next up. Let's take one. Did we figure out that selective spellcasting thing? Did we? Oh no, we did figure that one out. Sorry, okay, we're done with that one. Islarf. You know what? Bonus card. Stake it all. You know what? Ooh, I like it all. We're gonna flip a coin, huh? Double or nothing. Sorcery. Cast the spell only if an opponent has 7 or more cards in their hand, while you have 2 or less. Really? Flip a coin and call it. If you call it right, draw cards until you have 7 cards in hand. If you call it wrong, skip your turn. Oh, God. So, I mean, we're either going to get rich or we're not. Yeah, put it all in red. This has to be a great card, though, to be honest. It's 50-50 that you're going to draw 5 cards. So, basically, it's 1 mana for 2.5 cards. That's the expected value out of this thing. I've done the math. I think this is a good card. It's probably not broken either. Oh, is that a Yu-Gi-Oh card? You Yu-Gi-Oh players is like, that's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. I know that one. Yeah, we need more. Sorry, we do not need more coin flipping in this game. There's enough coin flipping in this game as it is. In a coin flip deck, you just draw. Or Kark's Thumb. Yeah, I forgot about the Kark's Thumb thing. With Kark's Thumb, you're just going to draw 5. But you have to spend a card on the battlefield in order to make that happen. Okay, next up. Let us take a look at part 11? 11! How did it get that high? Part 11 of the Draka. This is insane. Okay, I want to apologize because you'll see the last card of the last deck. Because, yes, all decks you saw until now were an entire cycle. Next deck should be foxes. Oh, I'm going to look forward to it. So, wait, this is showing... Oh, finally find her. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, so this is the end of the story is what you're telling me. Shattered through time. We got black 1 generic. Instant. Ooh, someone's falling in the sky. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Each player scries X and gains X life. Where X is equal to its mana value. And then you get the Chime Trouble again. Easy pass. Actually, hold on. What? Okay, we're getting each player scries X and gain X life. That's a lot of value, to be honest. That's a bit pushed. But it's not like I'm going to say it's in broken territory. Okay, triple green. What the hell is this? This is like a 5-chapter saga. Okay, chapter 1. You may exile a creature you control with power... with 4 time counters on it. It gains suspend. Okay. Chapter 2. Make a food token for each suspended card you own in exile. You do that for chapters 3 and 4. Now, chapter 5, until end of turn, any creature who entered the battlefield this turn gains +7/+7. That's a hefty bonus and has trample. I do have to admit, this is fair. I think that's a pass. This is very doable. Welcome, Brett. Finally made a live stream after over a year. Welcome from Australia. That's crazy. Is it really that hard to catch this stream? Maybe there's a holiday going on in Australia. Good day, mate. I remember this episode of King of the Hill where Peggy skydives. Oh God, I seen that too. Her parachute didn't launch, but she didn't die either. Verge of the Draken. I don't even, after looking at all these things, I don't even know what the Draken is. Verge of the Draken enters the battlefield tapped. Tap, add colorless. 2. Tap. I want to say Draken is a place, not a person, but I'm not sure. Okay, it's a land that taps for a colorless. Pay 2, tap, sack the Verge of the Draken. Search your library for a swamp and mountain card, put them onto the battlefield tap, then shuffle. Great card. Actually, that should be a commander staple. A land that can sacrifice and then find 2 more lands. And basically soaks up your turn anyway. And maybe the only reason they would never want to do this because they give like ramp to like Rakdos. Maybe that's not something Wizards want to do. Okay, Worry Spark Mage. It's a green, black, 1 generic, 2/2. Maja says it's a place. Yeah, I assumed if Draken was a person, we would have seen the Draken. But see, it's always talked about as if it is a place. The Worry Spark Mage for 3 mana. It's a 2/2. Flying in Ward 1. Doesn't look like much of a flyer, to be honest. I think that's a flavor fail. Whenever you cast a Planeswalker or activate a Spark ability, create a treasure, food, or clue token. That's I'm not gonna lie, that's a lot of value. And finally find her. It's a green sorcery. Reveal the top 10 cards of your library, put a legendary permanent and a land among them into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Easy pass. Yeah, Darth, you overpaid. Absolutely. You can give me another card. If you have another card, I'll definitely listen to it. Honestly, I prefer you people paid $5 per card, but I'm not going to stop you all for paying $2 per card. You pay anyway. Yeah, you submitted $10. You absolutely can have another card. Ship it this way. I'll keep an eye out for you in the chat. Bean Pot, the Multani on fire. Multani on fire. On fire. Oh, holy word soup. What the hell is going on? You had to give me a novel, didn't you? You had to do that, Bean Pot. All right, Nikachu has to get out their reading glasses that I don't own yet. Okay, it is a 5 mana star elemental avatar, but Nikachu is going to lean into the screen for a little bit. We got Reach and Haste. Multani on Fire's power and toughness are each equal to the number of land cards in all graveyards. Whenever a player casts a sorcery spell, if it targets 1 or more other permanents, that spell gains destroy target land. What the hell? In addition to its other effects. So whenever a player casts a sorcery spell, if it targets 1 or more other permanents, that's what gains destroy target land? The permanent being targeted or the sorcery that's targeting it? I'm guessing I guess what it is like, oh, if the sorcery targets something, I don't get it. Like, it has to already be targeting like a land to destroy the land. At the beginning of each player's end step, that player chooses a basic land type. All players return all lands with the chosen land type from their graveyard to the battlefield tapped, which were not put into a graveyard this turn. This is a little complicated, if you ask me. It's complicated. On top of that, it's got too many words. Sorry, people, I'm not a fan of this card. Yeah, so the spell gains it, but it's like, it's not going to destroy a land unless it was already targeting a land. Like, the targets have to be declared when you cast the spell. So the only time, so it's like so whenever a player casts a sorcery spell that targets a land for a different reason than destroying it, it then gains the ability destroy target land, which is so weird. Like, I guess you target lands with, like, tap or untap this permanent. So you basically turn those cards into land destruction. Only lawyers will understand the true power of this card. Yeah, maybe there's like one card in mind. But there might be a sorcery out there that's like target all these lands at once or something. Okay, so like the second ability I guess works, but it's really convoluted. And the last one, I don't understand it. At the beginning of each player's end step, the player chooses a basic land type. All players return all lands with chosen land type from their graveyard to the battlefield tapped, which were not put there. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense too. So it's doable. I think it's very, I think it's too wordy. I think it's wordy as hell. I want less words on this card. Chop off one of those abilities and resend it, Beanpot. Okay, next up, Darth. We're gonna get the second half of that $10 super chat. Angelic Prism. Ooh. Okay, it's a 4-mana artifact. Tap, add 2 mana of any color. Pay 1, tap, pick any combination of colors. I choose purple and brown. Pick any combination of colors. Colorless creatures you don't control are the chosen colors until end of turn. Ah. I have no idea what you want this for, but it's perfectly fine. It will not break the game. Doubles. Oh. No, but it doesn't, Beanpot. It doesn't double. You're just extra stone raining the stone rain land that it was already stone raining. Like, that's the problem with your card. Is that if you target a land and it gains this ability, let's say you have Stone Rain a land, and then it gained that ability to destroy a land. It's like already destroying that land. You can't re-choose targets while the spell already targeted something. I think a lot of people would love to play this. I mean, what was the advantage? I mean, people would love to play this for the mana rock. Pick any combination of colors, colorless creatures you don't control. Oh, all of them are the chosen color until end of turn. Like, we're basically painting them gray robots something. Oh, another answer to the devoid Eldrazi's, those broken colorless bastards. Okay, interesting. Okay, next up. John, thanks so much for the super sticker, by the way. Thank you very much. If you have a card, let me know. Okay, we got Will Anderson. The Tale of Grave and Grimoire. I swear we've seen that card before. As weird as that sounds. Tale of Grave and Grimoire. Did we look at this card on another show, like by accident? Okay, so it's Dimir enchantment. When Tale of Grave and Grimoire enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. Sacrifice Tale of Grave and Grimoire. Return target wizard or zombie card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Place a -1/-1 counter on it. Okay. I'm just wondering if you can, like, you can keep this card without the -1/-1 thing. Is that even necessary? Does that keep it in check for some reason? Somehow? Cormanek says, they were thinking the land needed to be destroyed down to the bedrock. Bedrock! It's a Stone Rain joke. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, next. Okay, well, first off, okay, enters the battlefield, draw a card, then so it's a loot. Sacrifice it. I mean, this is I think it's fair. Obviously, it's a reanimation type of thing. So it's like another copy, but it's only for wizards and zombies. It's like Anime Dead. I think that's the card that it is. I think it's totally fine. 100% fine. Elixir with a big super chat. Hello, hello. Could I ask for your feedback and opinion on 4 pieces for the dono? We're gonna start it off with Dying Breed. Absolutely. Oh, you don't know this, Elixir. We already did this one. So I think I was trying to figure out actually how to make it more pushed, but it's just so hard to do. Like, how do we cast this card for 1 mana? Because every creature has a creature type. You got that one for free already. But like, while you're here, yeah, I mean, it's totally fine. This is incredibly fair. And if it has 2 or more creature types, then it's just going to be 3 mana, right? Which is sort of below rate for a removal spell. So basically, if it has 1 creature type, you're always killing something for 2. If it's 2 creature types or more, you're spending 3 or 4 mana. I actually think this card is a little underwhelming. Probably have another ability attached to it. Like, it can't destroy target creature, it can't be regenerated, or if it dies this turn, exile it. Something to that effect. Okay, next up, though, you want Buried Flame. Can we... Hold on, I'm sure all of your cards are right next to each other. So, Buried Flame. Burial Flames. Red Sorcery. Multi-kicker of a red and 1 generic. Burial Flames deals 1 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Double Burial Flames damage for each time it was kicked. How exponential does that get? That's probably fair. So 1 damage, then for 3 mana it deals 2 damage, then for 5 mana it deals 4 damage, then for 7 mana it deals 8 damage. I like it. This card's a banger card. William says, how does that work with changelings? Well, it's never going to target it. Changelings are every creature type, I'm assuming. I'm assuming it's just you're out of luck against the changelings. It's untouchable. That's the advantage of going changeling around here. Okay, next up, the deep breath. Is that close? No, it's not. Okay. Deep Breath, a blue X sorcery. Put target creature into its owner's library X from the top. If X is 0, return that creature into its owner's hand instead. Oh yeah, that's 100% fine. Very interesting. Looks like a very limited card. Like, that's the card that you'd want to like play in limited and then bury the card deep into your opponent's deck and hope they never find it again. And then the Flash Flood Canyon. Ooh, it's a land. I'm always excited for the lands around here. Yeah, Elixir says pay 280 for the changelings. Yeah, for the dying breed. Okay, we got a desert land. You may play Flash Flood Canyon anytime you could play an instant. Okay, that could be broken. If no lands enter the battlefield during your last turn. Oh, so this is like your land drop for the turn. So that's how you made it fair. Tap, add blue. Activate only if Flash Flood Canyon enter the battlefield this turn. Otherwise, add a colorless. Oh, flavor is on point. Very interesting card. That's a very unique card. Lands that can be played at flash speed if you missed your own, or if you chose not to play a land drop for your turn. It's like, you thought I missed my land drop for the turn, but I've got a surprise for you. The Flash Flood Canyon. Yeah, it's a nice art. It's a really nice full art type of card. Love it. Thanks so much, Elixir, for sharing your cards. Next up, Corbinek. Actually, you know what? Before we go to Corbinek, there was like one extra card because we did the Dying Breed earlier. Let's go take a random card before I get to Corbinek. Next card is from Dimitri. Oh no, we did the Bertha Teddy. Or are we now? I think we're in old card territory here. Did we Hunger for Blood? The black vampire, commutative upkeep for a black from Pegman. Commutative upkeep black or sacrifice of blood. It's got lifelink, but this is an enchantment. Whenever a creature dies, create a blood token. Whenever you pay Hunger for Blood's commutative upkeep, for each age counter on it, deals 1 damage to any target. Oh, I see. So like the permanent can still have lifelink, and you deal damage and gain life. Blinded, more for flavor than anything else. Some of you are all about the flavor wins. You're not trying to make winning Magic cards, you're just here for the flavor. Just a reminder, Changeling are all god gamers. That's true too. Okay, blinded. White. Sorcery. Put a stun counter on all permanents on the battlefield. Holy moly. It might be good. It's an interesting taxing card. I'm just wondering, how does stun counters work with like Winter Orb? Or do you remove the do you only remove the counter when you can untap a card? Or do you only untap or do you always remove the stun counter and then you have the option to untap the card? I'm just curious. Isn't 5 a bit expensive? Well, isn't 2 a little too early to cast? Like, this is when you're gonna hurt people. So like, put a stun count on all permanents on the battlefield. I mean, this is where you nail them really hard. By turn 5, like, people have played their stuff out. You're gonna slow them down big time. You remove counters when you try to untap. Ah, so like this could be another stacks piece. Stun counters come off as replacement to untapping. So if I'm not allowed to untap my stuff through the static orb, through Winter Orb, I mean, this is just, it's an absolute powerhouse. This actually is probably way better than you think it is, Corbinek. Way better than you think it is. Next up, We got Paths of Life. Beyond the Eternities, Part 2. Is this Majra's secret account? Part 2. A snapshot of what lies. Alright. It's like, I thought Majra was the only person who did put things in, like, Part 1, Part 2. Although you're using Roman numerals. So, do you know what? Maybe you aren't Majra's extra account. Majra's like, no, this is not me at all. I'm too dumb to do You're not dumb, Majra. Alright, both are denying it, and they're doing it simultaneously. Quantized Altar, the legendary artifact land. When another colorless artifact enters, its controller puts a counter on... Its controller puts a counter of any color on that artifact. If an artifact has a color counter, any mana it would produce becomes mana of that color instead, which can't be spent on generic mana cost. Tap to add one colorless or one mana of any color that another artifact with a color counter could produce. What the hell did this card do? I don't know. Okay. Whenever another... I gotta read this in silence. Whenever another colorless artifact enters, its controller puts a counter of any color on that artifact. They put a counter of any color? Right at that point, I'm not sure what that means. If an artifact has a color counter, I'm assuming this is like a new type of counter. Cards and permanents with a color counter become that color. Okay, so if I could put black, green, white, blue, and it's just that color. If an artifact has a color counter, any mana it would produce becomes mana. Okay, so if I have a blue color counter, it taps for blue. Tap add a colorless or one of any color that another artifact with a color counter could produce. You know, it's this a little confusing, calling it the color counter. The color counter produces colors, mana costs. It's fair. It's fine. Just confuse the crap out of me. Yeah, it forces colorless mana rocks to produce one specific mana color type instead. Yes, it does. Let there be color. Paint the town Wooburg. Quintessential space. We got a colorless. 2 generic enchantment. Creatures with the void gain +1 toughness for each color among permanents its controller controls. Why are these such tongue twister cards? Creatures with the void gain +1 toughness. No, well then you'd say gain like +0 +1 for each color among permanents its controller can. Okay, that's fine. If a colorless creature enters, its controller may put a counter of any color on it. And then if a token creature leaves the battlefield, all players except its controller untap a basic land of one of its colors or any basic land if it was colorless. These are very, very confusing cards for honestly it's pretty straightforward abilities. The color counters. Oh, these exist? These are real? I thought this was being invented on these cards, to be honest. I thought these were all being invented. Okay, we got a hybrid of a red or a colorless for a 1/1 Dragon Spirit with Devoid. And it's got color void. Pay 1 to exile this card. If you do, place 1 counter of the spent mana's color. Or any color if it was colorless on this exiled card. You may activate this ability only as a sorcery from your hand or graveyard. When a creature without Devoid enters, its control loses 1 life. When a creature without Devoid... Oh, that is insane. That's a great card. That's going to deal a lot of damage. And you can get this out early. Yeah, you can get this out. So when a creature without Devoid enters... I mean, you're counting your opponent's creatures. I don't have many creatures with Devoid. So you just basically... Everyone's going to pick themselves off. Every single time I want to play a creature... Or those token decks, making tokens. I mean, it's just going to basically be death of 1,000 cuts. Or death of 40 for that matter. Color counters don't exist, I'm pretty sure. But they have been part of custom... Oh, I see. It's been part of the custom MTG lore for quite a while now. And we just looked at this one. The QAE Invigoration. The colorless 1 generic essence. Choose one. You can't select the same choice from the ability of QAE Invigoration this turn. X is the number of colors among your exiled cards. Draw X cards. Hold on, X is the number of colors. Okay. Draw X cards so we can draw up to 5. Deal 2 damage that can't be reduced to X targets. And then untap X lands you control. All for the low cost of 3 mana. But I think you have to work for it, right? You can't select, choose one. You can't select the same choice from this ability. This turn, X is the number of colors among your exiled cards. So you got a little bit of work to get that big payoff. Oh, Christopher B want to share something over here. Great Mother Frog. 9 mana. It's a giant frog for 7/6. Spell costs 1 less to cast for each frog that died this game. The first green creature spell you cast each turn costs green less to cast. Interesting. Okay, the last card. The Mists of Ether. Oh, we can't see this card very well. Give me a second. The Mists of Ether. Chapter 1. Choose 1. Exile target creature with the void. Why are we have like more choices when we get into the saga, and target colored creature becomes a basic land of one of its colors chosen by its controller? That's crazy. Exile target creature, so we can kill a creature with the void or return. It's basically 3 mana exile something. Chapter 2, create a colorless copy of another target non-land permanent. And Chapter 3, spells you cast this turn cost 1 less to cast. Transform Mists of Ether. And it will transform into the Ether Vivacity. Now you may cast spirit creatures from your exile for no cost. Oh my god, that sounds broken. Spirits cast this way keep color counters it had while in exile. If a basic land is tapped to add color mana, you may put a stun counter on it. If you do, add twice that mana instead. Pay 1, remove a stun counter from target colored permanent. And that's it. Oh no, Dissipation. Remove all stun counters from your permanents, then transform Ether Vivacity. I hope this is not busted. I'm gonna give it a pass. Bit broken on 1 card. No. Well, it's like, it does a lot for 3 mana. But you still have to wait for Chapter 3 to arrive. I could be very wrong. That card could be broken in absolute half. But a very interesting set of cards, making very good use of the color counters. We got Cormac, the Oath to Ideals. Fixed, apparently. Okay, Esper, instant. Only mana from land sources can be used to cast this card. I think it should just say only mana. Cast this spell only with mana used from lands or something to that effect. Split Second. Counter target spell. Then both the caster of the spell and the caster of the spell countered search their libraries for a card that is the same cost and type as that card countered with a different name and add it to their hands. All players shuffle their decks afterwards. Oh, it's interesting. So we don't even lose what we countered. I mean, we get something in. We get a little something in exchange. That's very, very interesting. Well, I want to say there's some card out there like that where you count. It's like counter target spell. They draw a card, something to that effect. Like you countered the spell, but they get another shot with another card. But then maybe you go get another counter spell. Surefire ourselves with the Discover the Culprit. Did we catch him? Okay, it's a 4 mana instant. Shuffle your library, then exile the top card of your library face down. You can look at it at the beginning of your next main phase. Each opponent looks at the exiled card, then discards a card, or sacrifices a permanent that shares a card type or mana value with it. Then you guess the name of the exiled card. If you guess right, you may cast it without paying its mana cost, otherwise put it into your hand. I don't understand these, or I can never understand on the first reading when it says, if it shares the same card type as this card. Okay, shuffle your library, exile top card, face down. Each opponent looks at the... So my opponents can look at the exile card, then discards a card. At the beginning of your next main phase, each opponent looks at the exile card, then discards a card or sacrifices a permanent that shows a card type. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this Shares a card type. Oh, I see, okay. So we can sacrifice a land. Then you guess the name of the exiled card. If you guess right, you may cast it with Pegasus mana cost, otherwise put into your hand. Okay, interesting. So basically, if everyone sacks enchantments or discards enchantments, you know it's an enchantment card, and you could just blind name Rhystic Study or something. Cool. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Next up, Arcanus Ultra with Epic Destiny version 2. Did we look at that one earlier? Epic Destiny. Oh, did you put it on? Is it here? You put it on Reddit? Supposed to post to my Discord, Arcanus. Version 2. I think this is it. I don't know if this is version 2. It doesn't say version 2, but I'm assuming this is it. Uh-oh, too close. Okay, red, blue, instant. Target instant or sorcery spell you control gains epic. For the rest of the game, you can't take extra turns. Oh, I see. So we give something epic, but you want to make sure that you don't break the game with extra turns. I'm wondering how you could break that. Like, how do we get extra turns anyway? Oh, you know what we can do? Oh, it's on the... Okay, this is the original. It is on Discord? Well, I can't... There is no extra... Oh, sorry. I misspelled Destiny. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot! It's the same thing. Target instant or sorcery spell you control gains epic. For the rest of the game, you can't take extra turns. It's the same thing. Okay, good. I think it's the same thing. That is version 2. Okay, good. Okay, I'm sorry. I just misspelled the card. Okay, interesting card. It could be wild. I'm just trying to think. What is the best instant or sorcery to give yourself epic? Is it like some sort of card that constantly wipes the board every single game? I'm just trying to think. I mean, this would be absolute hell if you put this on, like, Obliterate or something. Some of that effect. Winter Fox, thank you so much for your super chat. No custom cards from me this week as well. Too busy, but here's some more donations to other people's or freebies. 5 of them. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can give. Okay, let's give one to the Dam. The Dam. Oh God, the Dam. Like hot damn. That is a lot of words. Maybe a few too many words. Okay, it's this Amigara Fault. I like the art, though. It is Enigma Fault line. Okay, tap, pay X. If a creature were to enter the battlefield this turn with mana cost, power, or toughness equal to X, exile that card and place 3 time counters on it. So we're giving stuff to suspend. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a time counter from each card exiled with Amigara Fault. And then if there are any... Then, if any of those exiled creatures have no time counters left, create a green and black Fault Abomination creature token with power and toughness, each equal to the exiled creature plus X. Fault Abomination tokens have Death Touch and Menace. I hope this is okay. I mean, it doesn't add mana. It's like literally a land that adds nothing. So I hopefully that is fine. We get freebies? Can we do... Oh, you want to... Okay, so, yeah, okay, we can call out some freebies here. You got Euris. So long as someone donates, yes, you get freebies. Euris, is this on here? Or are you on the Scuttle Lord? Or did you have that on your... You have to tell me where you posted it. Euris. The Scut... Lord. It exists. 4 years ago? You still remember that one, Zazms? Holy crap! That's an old one. Okay, it's a blue 2 generic 1/4 crab. Whenever one or more players mill 1 or more cards for the first time each turn, create a 0/2 crab creature token. Each crab you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. I want to say we've had this on the show before. There we go. We got some crab fans out here. Easily pass. 100%. The Scuttlelord. Zoidberg would be very proud. Okay, here we got a donation to Dimitri. The Steampunk Disney Castle. During your upkeep, sacrifice a non-land permanent for each life you have. What? Sacrifice a non-land permanent for each life, but we're gonna sacrifice everything. You gain perpetual quadruple colorless, triple white, triple blue, triple black, triple red, triple green for each permanent sacrifice this way. So I always have an infinite mana. So I like sacrificed everything, but I have now infinite mana for anything. That is weird. Sacrifice a non-land permanent. So I lost everything, but this actually could be broken. It's a land. So basically, I just play this turn 1, and then after that's it. Emil's like, Dimitri's designs be absolutely nuts, absolutely bonkers. Yeah, I think what would happen, you just play this turn 1, and okay, sure, next turn you sacrifice all your permanents, all one of them, and then you perpetually have this much mana like every single turn. It's crazy, yeah, crazy beyond repair. It should say sacrifice. I don't know. I have no idea how you balance that. That doesn't seem like a balancing thing you can do. We have a few more freebies. We got the added time. We didn't do the thing from Matt256. All right, we got Gruul Orzhov for an enchantment with Ascend. When do the thing enter the battlefield? If it is neither night or day, it becomes day. And then whenever the ring tempts you, chaos ensues. What the hell is this card? Whenever you venture into the dungeon, if you have the city's blessing, you become the monarch. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, you take the initiative. What the hell is this thing? And has Ascend by itself. Whenever the ring tempts you, chaos ensues. You venture into the dungeon. If you have the cities, you become the monarch. I don't get this. Day becomes night becomes you take the initiative. Yeah, it does the thing. You do one thing, you do the other thing. I have a feeling this is broken. That's all I'm gonna say. I think this is just broken. Although it's very interesting. It's a meme. It's okay, we can take meme cards on the show too. Who else do we not get? The library. This is white 7 generic for artifact room. Affinity for books. Cost 1 less to cast for each book you control. Book. Okay, this is a tap, add a colorless for each book you control. Pay 3, tap, draw a card. Activate only if you control 3 or more books. Knowledge is power, people. And I have no idea. I have no idea how you can make this broken. That actually seems super fair. It's 9 mana, for crying out loud. Within these walls, wisdom flows like ink. Yes, we must be free. Oh, is this your account? My coffee. All right. Yeah, you got it. You get a free card. All right, we got Daniel. Can we take a look at the Loon Axe? Absolutely, we can take a look at a Loon Axe. What super chat sound effect I'm gonna give you? I can give you this one. I need more super chat sound effects. You all donate more money to me than I have super chat sound effects. Okay, Lunax the Relentless Devourer. It is a green-black 2 generic werewolf beast. It's an 8/4. Creatures you don't control are food in addition to their other types. Well, that's great. I've always liked to eat my creatures. There's a lot of meat on those bones. Whenever Lunax attacks, defending player may sacrifice a food creature. Hold on. Creatures you don't control. Oh, creatures we don't control are food. So our opponent's stuff is our food. It's what a weird picture. There's like a piece of cake or something. It should be more like the wolf is looking at the link over here. Okay, Lunax attacks. Defending player may sacrifice a food creature. If that player does, untap Lunax, remove it from combat, and you gain 3 life. Otherwise, Lunax gains lifelink and indestructible until end of turn. This is probably broken. I think it's just a little too cheap for this, like, attack, make your opponent sacrifice everything. And by the way, if it's a food, does that make them artifacts? Like, can I side this in and then play like a card that says like destroy all artifacts on the battlefield? I think it's like something to that effect. Lifelink may make it stabilize too hard. Oh, it's like stabilizes way too hard. And it's huge! This is an 8/4 creature. This is insane. If it was like more 4/4, maybe this is fine. Because like, then you could just let this thing through and that would be like fine-ish. I just don't know what the ruling are. Like, if we turn something to food, are they still creatures or are they creature artifacts? It's basically the troll from the first Eldraine set. Yeah, I can eat my crabs now. No, it just makes them food. It doesn't make them artifacts or game. Okay. Oh, that's weird. It doesn't have the property of food. So it's just basically they are food to this Lunax thing. Tax defending player may sacrifice. They may sacrifice. If that player does, untap Lunax, remove it from combat. You gain 3 life. Otherwise, it gains lifelink. I think you have to just reduce the power. I think everything on this thing is fine. You have to just make it a 4/4 creature or a 5/4 creature. 8 is a little high. It's a little high. It's like quite a bit big. Outside of that, I think the card is quite interesting. It's just the power on this thing is just a little too high. A little too much. But the ability is cool. So basically, attack, make the opponent sack a card. And if they don't want to sack their creature, okay, yeah, I'm indestructible and I have lifelink. Screw it. Screw you. And with that, I think that's it. Hold on, did someone said, okay, I usually don't do this, but we'll take a look at your card, Epic Nate. Post on Reddit a good while ago. It's my first creation, so it's basic. Selesnya Herbalist. So, is it Selesnya or is it Siles? Okay, I'm gonna assume this is, you spelled, I don't think that's how you spell Selesnya. Selesnya Herbalist. Okay, old custom card I remade. All right, we got a hybrid Selesnya and 2 generic for a 1/3 elf druid. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. And you can tap for it, a green or a red, or a green or a white. That is insanely doable. Nothing broken there. And with that, that's it for today. Thank you so much for showing up today. Thanks everyone for the donations and all your creative cards. We saw a lot of neat stuff today. So as usual, you want to be part of the show, you got to be here weekdays, 11 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you Super Chat to be part of the show, or you Super Chat so other people can be part of the show. We got a lot of donations, so a lot of people got to, and remember, you can still post in my Discord to get advantage of those free donations. And thanks so much for being here today. Thanks to everyone to like Dimitri and Zequadzir. We've got Bell, Steve Cooper, Corbinik, Majra, Argentina, the Dams. Oh, here's the Dams. I'll have more goofery for next time because we do these every single week. Emil, Arcanus Ultra, Zazam, Darth Taurus, and more. Thank you very much. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees and keep brewing up that creativity for them custom cards. And I will see you at the next cup.